What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Jon Jones fires back at the MMA community. The UFC's decision to book a fight between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic after Jones tore his pec has been met with plenty of criticism at every step of the way. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. With Tom Aspinall now sitting as a defending interim champion, the fact that Jones has been open about not being interested in a fight even if he wins on Saturday has not gone over well with fans. Despite Jones' willingness to vacate the heavyweight title in pursuit of a fight with Alex Pereira, fans have continued to call him out for ducking Tom Aspinall. During his media day appearance on Wednesday, Jones explained that he can't be ducking the interim champ because the two were never scheduled to fight.
Okay, so I feel like narratives have been created that just truly aren't there. You can't duck a man that you were never scheduled to fight. It's like saying you got turned down by a girl who you never even hit on. You know what I'm saying? I get that Tom is an exciting fighter. I get that finally, after 16 years, we found somebody who's 7 years younger than me and 30 pounds bigger than me. Like, we finally found someone who may give me a great challenge. And everyone wants to see it so bad. But for me, it's like, what's in it for me? He changes nothing if I beat him. Beating Tom is just like beating Cyril Gane. Has a whole country behind him. He's hot right now. What happens to me after I beat him? Nothing changes for me. So I'm not ducking Tom Aspinall. If I failed to fight Stipe, I would be ducking Stipe because we contractually have been signed up to fight over a year ago. The Tom narrative came out of nowhere. He won a belt and now suddenly I'm ducking him. I've never had negotiations to even fight him, if this makes sense.
The MMA community was quick to weigh in on the take, with one writing, "You can't schedule a fight that someone says no to." Another explained, "He's ducking Tom." When Tom won the interim belt, that usually means that the next fight the champ of that division fights is versus the interim champ. However, instead, in this case, Jones chose to instead pursue Stipe, even though he should unify his division. Therefore, he ducked Tom. One fan pointed out that Dana White wanted the Jones-Miocic fight to happen. He's right about the UFC not offering him, probably as Dana wanted this fight, and he's also right about it doesn't do anything really for his legacy, apart from to casual new fans who haven't watched his older fights, but as fans of the sport, please fight him, LMAO. Even though Jones is willing to vacate the heavyweight belt if he wins and decides to stick around after his fight with Stipe Miocic, a lot of members of the MMA world still want to see him fight Tom Aspinall. He is the interim champ. If he doubled down in retirement after Stipe, then fine. But bro just actively showed that he's ducking Aspinall by saying he'd give up the belt to go fight Poatan. Not everyone agrees though. He's got a point. Drop the heavyweight title after Saturday night and fight Pereira for legacy and money. Not a bad plan. Ahead of Saturday's fight, Tom Aspinall explained the Jones a duck catchphrase in a video for his YouTube channel, pointing out that Jones sat on the sidelines for 3 years rather than fighting Francis Ngannou.
Like, people are starting acting surprised. Oh, John's a duck, this, that and the other. Jon Jones ducked Francis Ngannou for 3 years. Like, don't be surprised that this guy always takes fights where he's at the advantage.
From the sound of things, Jones is all in on a fight with Alex Pereira, regardless of what the UFC says. During his media day appearance, he said, "If the UFC doesn't want the Alex Pereira fight to happen, then it won't happen, and I'll just move on with my life. Would you guys rather lose me or get one more super fight?" During Wednesday's scrum, Jones also spoke about the UFC's decision to have fighters on Saturday use the old glove design instead of the new ones, throwing his support behind the decision.
I'm really excited about the old gloves. I got sent a pair of the new gloves several weeks ago. I tried them on and I thought they were tight. I used to fit an XL, and in the new glove I had to put on a 3XL. The shape, curving your hands like that, they were very uncomfortable for me, and I was actually really stressed thinking about how am I going to go into fight week wearing these gloves that I don't even want to train in. So when I got a phone call recently, Hunter said, you know, everyone on this card are veterans. Why put a bunch of vets in a new glove? Let's give you guys all what you're used to. It was a major relief to my coach, Brandon, who wraps my hands. It was a major relief to me as well.
Jones also tested out a pair of the old gloves this week, where he was seen with a big smile on his face as he broke the gloves in. Kamaru Usman revealed he is not ready to fight Shavkat at UFC 310. Here's what Usman had to say.
To be honest, it's a fight that I've looked at, and I know it's definitely a very, very winnable fight, and I know that I can, of all people, go out there and expose what hasn't been exposed in a young, hungry, streaky guy in Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's very talented, he's very, very good, but I do see the holes, and I think that I can exploit that when that time is right. But December 7th might be a little too early for that time.
Charles Oliveira reveals plans after Michael Chandler fight. This weekend, Charles Oliveira will have a chance to move one step closer to reclaiming the lightweight title when he and Michael Chandler throw down in a 5-round co-main event fight in New York City. While a win over Chandler would put Do Bronx in the mix for a fight against the winner of the Islam Makhachev-Arman Tsarukyan fight, expected to take place early next year, he explained to media members through a translator that he isn't looking to avenge his loss to both fighters. He's simply looking to reclaim the title. A fighter wants to be a champion. That's what we want, and we want the title. So I'll tell you what, I'm not looking for Arman. I'm not looking for Islam. I'm looking for who has the title. Whenever they go at it, I'll be there, first row, watching it, and whoever has that belt, that's the person I want to get. During a separate sit-down with TNT Sports this week, Oliveira also discussed his split decision loss to Arman Tsarukyan back at UFC 300. I think I won the first and the third round, but I think that what needs to happen is I need to be myself. I need to be very aggressive. I always need to be looking for the finish. I can't leave it in the hands of the judges. I just think I was too calm waiting for the fight to come to me. I need to be aggressive. I need to be explosive. I need to go and hunt and go from the start to finish to look to finish the fight. With both guys looking to get their hands on UFC gold, Saturday night's fight is definitely a must-win for both fighters. Alright fight fans, this year has been full of great fights, and UFC 309 will definitely not disappoint. If you're looking to get even closer in on the action, our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook have an offer right now to make things even more exciting for you. Right now, all new customers that bet just $5 on DraftKings will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. You heard me right. All new customers that bet just $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up using our promo code MMAZone. The crown is yours. Just to be clear, new customers can bet $5 on anything and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. If you want to stay in on the action, use those bonus bets on DraftKings Same Game Parlay, where you can combine multiple bets together from the same fight or game for even bigger payouts. If sports betting isn't available in your state yet, don't worry. You can still get in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use our promo code MMAZone and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code MMAZone only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Bo Nickal talks about a potential Khamzat Chimaev fight. Since Bo Nickal first signed with the UFC, fans have been hoping that the stars align for him and Khamzat Chimaev to throw down. Considering both fighters are accomplished grapplers, the stylistic matchup between the two has fight fans and grappling enthusiasts foaming at the mouth for a chance to see the two go at it. Of course, considering Chimaev is waiting for a crack at the title and Nickal is still unranked, the odds of the two fighting right now are pretty much non-existent. Even though Nickal is undefeated, he's been pretty open about wanting to take things slow, considering he's only been training and fighting for a few years. During a media scrum on Wednesday, Nickal weighed in on a potential fight between the two.
It's definitely getting steps closer. I think that Khamzat's last performance was really incredible. It was probably the best performance he's had. Submitting a former champion in the first round is an amazing feat. And so I feel like, he's definitely right there for the title shot. We'll see what the UFC wants to do, but I doubt he fights again before he fights for the belt. And I have a lot of catching up to do. I'm fighting unranked guys right now. So, those are the type of fights I want in the future. But again, the main focus is improve, develop, get better at fighting, and we'll make that happen in time.
Of course, like many wrestlers do, Nickal and John Jones had a lighthearted impromptu grappling session during fight week, with Nickal dropping Chael Sonnen's famous "I can't let you get close" line on the heavyweight champion. Conor McGregor reacts to his leaked video that surfaced yesterday. In the video, you can see someone at a beach house intimately, and it's believed to be Conor and his fiancée. We obviously can't show footage because of YouTube. Conor allegedly confronted the kid who recorded the video, and now DMs are being leaked of Conor addressing the situation. Conor wrote, "What did you do that for, you stupid Come to me now." The kid replied saying, "Lad, I didn't do anything. I came for a picture." Conor responded with an audio call for 46 seconds, followed by a missed call from McGregor. It seems that Conor isn't letting this slide, but given his recent court case and the legal trouble he's been in, it might be smart for him to just let this one go. Someone close to the kid posted on social media saying that Conor even went as far as allegedly showing up to the kid's house with 4 other men, but he wasn't there at the time. What do you think of this situation? Let us know in the comments below. Umar Nurmagomedov fires back at Aljamain Sterling for comments. Even though a pretty big chunk of fight fans want to see Merab Dvalishvili defend his belt against Umar Nurmagomedov, the machine doesn't think he deserves it. From the sounds of things, Aljamain Sterling agrees and doesn't think that Umar's earned a crack at the title just yet. During a sit-down with Ariel Helwani on the Ariel Helwani show this week, the former champion basically told Nurmagomedov that he needed to carve out his own lane instead of riding the coattails of being Khabib Nurmagomedov's cousin. Umar then responded via social media with a facepalm emoji before following it up with another post where he fired back at Sterling. It's worth adding that you're actually very afraid this fight might happen, and this is the only fight where you and your team aren't sure you'll win. If I'm only here because of my brother's name, then this is a very easy fight for Merab. Accept the fight and prove that I'm just a fluke. Come up with a new excuse. That one didn't work. One fan responded, backing up Sterling. You would be a nobody without your cousin, and that's a fact. People with no ranked wins don't magically get gifted a #1 contenders fight. Umar then responded with a picture of the Alexandre Pantoja Kai Asakura poster, indicating that Asakura got a title fight even though he hasn't fought in the UFC yet. Sterling then responded to the undefeated contender, saying he's over the whole thing. Let the UFC decide. I'm over people asking me this. I'm not the champ, and I'm not the problem you have soon. My opinion is based on facts, and again, it's just my opinion. Umar responded to that by teasing some big news. About facts, I have questions. Soon, we gonna know. News upcoming. UFC almost decided. From the sounds of things, we might get some news about the bantamweight division sooner rather than later. Bo Nickal gets warned by fighter before UFC 309. Bo Nickal might have 2 wins by KO, TKO in his career, but at the end of the day, grappling is Nickal's bread and butter. As one of, if not the single most decorated NCAA wrestlers in the US, Nickal knows that he has a grappling advantage against his opponents inside the octagon. The way Paul Craig sees things, however, taking him down inside the octagon on Saturday night is a bad idea. During his media scrum on Wednesday, he pointed out that when fighters put him on his back, they're playing right into his hand.
Yeah, I imagine the president probably is rooting for the Scottish guy to lose, but I'll be waiting at his golf course for him in Scotland. But no, it's good that it's bringing eyes to the sport. A guy like Bo Nickal, with all his credentials, of course he's going to get a love and respect from media and presidents and everybody else. But what you need to remember is this sport is not wrestling. This sport is mixed martial arts, and it's the UFC mixed martial arts. It's at the highest level, and I do believe he hasn't faced an opponent quite as hungry as me.
Throughout his career, Paul Craig has been able to win 13 fights by submission, with 6 of his 9 wins in the UFC coming by way of submission. The other 3 wins all came by KO or TKO. However, his TKO win over Jamal Hill happened after he broke Hill's arm with a submission, and his TKO win over Shogun Rua was because of his grappling. If Craig uses his legendary guard to get a win over Bo Nickal, it would definitely be a huge moment for the jiu-jitsu community. George St-Pierre rejects $7 million MMA fight. While a lot of fighters end their careers on losing streaks or by going out on their shields, George St-Pierre walked away from the sport after submitting Michael Bisping to secure middleweight gold. Since then, GSP has been happy working karate combat cards and traveling the world learning about paleontology. However, according to Tyron Woodley, St-Pierre was actually offered several $1 million to fight him in the Middle East last year. In an interview with PledgeMo.com ahead of this weekend's Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight, Woodley accused GSP of ducking him. George St-Pierre never wanted to fight me. I've asked George to fight me several times. I had an opportunity to fight him last year and the year before. It was a $5 to $7 million purse, and he said no. In MMA, my Middle East investor wanted the fight, $7 million, but he said no. I would have beat his brains in. Considering GSP's fight against Michael Bisping was his first fight since 2013, it's not totally surprising that he turned down a fight with Woodley in 2023, given that at that point he had fought once in the past 10 years. Despite that, it sounds like Woodley still isn't happy about the fact that the potential fight will never happen. John Jones declines an interview with a Tom Aspinall supporter ahead of UFC 309. John refused to sit down and talk with Adam from TNT Sports because he felt it was going to be all talk about Aspinall, given that Tom has a series on TNT Sports called Fight Lab. Here's what John had to say.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good, man. Good. Have a seat, sir.
How you guys in? But hey, I'm not gonna do this interview. You don't want to do it? No, because it's gonna be an Aspinall fest. I'm not gonna. Come on, let's go. Hey, bro. I see how close you guys are, and common sense tells me what type of questions I'm just gonna get asked. So I'm just like,
Give me time to speak to you. You want to speak?
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.